Good evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, from morphed photographs to fake videos and a social media frenzy, has the JNU story been guided largely by a media trial? That's what we're focusing on today, on a day when hundreds of lawyers took out a march in Delhi, including the men involved in the assault on journalists and students at Delhi's Patiala House courts this week. These men have defied a summons to appear before the police and obviously believe they're above the law and that no one can touch them. You can see that we've circled their faces today. Their names are on your screens and they include Vikram Chauhan, who's brazenly defied the police summons and has been caught on our cameras beating up people just days earlier. Well, that lawyers' march taking place earlier today, as we said, still no arrests, days after those assaults took place, spread over two different days at the Patiala House Court, and clearly lawyers like Vikram Chauhan and others think that they're above the law. No one's going to touch them, which is why they're not afraid to go out onto the streets of the national capital at a short distance away from where those assaults took place, in front of the police station, and conduct marches like this. Well, the story has also taken a murkier turn after it emerged that a video that's been circulated on some news channels as well as social media showing Kanhaiya chanting Azadi slogans is actually doctored. The audio of the students chanting Azadi on the 9th of February has been overlaid on Kanhaiya speaking on the 11th, where he too is demanding Azadi, but not from India, from casteism, from rioters, etc. The Photoshop also extends to a photograph of Kanhaiya, which has been circulating on social media as well, and then become the basis of the sedition allegations that have been levelled against the JNU student leader. His bail application was not heard by the Supreme Court today, which said that it would now allow the High Court to do that. It would not bypass procedure, and so the High Court will hear it next week, possibly on Monday or Tuesday. There are many disturbing, different disturbing aspects to this story tonight, and joining us on the program this evening, Senior Advocate Dushyant Dave joins us from Ahmedabad tonight. We also have with us Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the BJP, Mridula Mukherjee, former professor with JNU, Saket Bahuguna, who's the secretary of the ABVP in Delhi and a JNU student himself, and Mr. N. Ram, the chairman and publisher of the Hindu group. Mr. Ram, let me ask you first, sir, as an editor, as a senior journalist, what is your take on how this story has been covered over the last few days, and what you think the lessons are that the media certainly needs to draw from this?
I think a section of the media, especially news television, but only a section, really instigated the whole thing. There's no question. Raised the level of the hysteria, was totally inaccurate, and then later on, after journalists were beaten, even this section completely changed tack without any explanation of why it did that. So I think so they are a player in this. I wouldn't say all sections of the media or the mainstream media. I think that most of the press that I've read has been very responsible, and certainly NDTV has been very responsible and sober in its coverage. But if there's a doctored video, it's the primary duty of the media to expose it, and I think it was already it was exposed on television, and I think that's a good thing. But there are many other players, mischief mongers in this. I think the police have to be proceeded against because they have been lying about what happened, and also I think you can say that the justice system has been soft on the lawyers who have openly defied the rule of law. Those lawyers who have openly defied the rule of law have resorted to violence, have behaved like gundas. I think the justice system has to be much firmer in dealing with them and not be pressured by these marches and so on. So it's quite a complex story, but since you asked me about the media, yeah. I think
I began with that.
Indict those sections.
I began with that, and Dushyant Dave, let me put first to you the question of the media coverage in particular, and how disturbing it is to come across doctored videos, Photoshop pictures, how quickly things, Dushyant Dave, actually spread through social media today. I mean, you can put anything out there in social media, and it could just be an utter lie. It could be defamatory, but it just goes viral within seconds. And who's accountable then? Who is accountable for spreading misinformation?
Well, I must say one thing, and I must confess that I am technology challenged. So I am not on social media at all. I can barely use my mobile phone. But having said that, I can say one thing, and this is what the nation really needs to introspect. Anarchy has set into this country. And I think every institution is responsible for what is happening today and where we are heading. The government is responsible. The police is responsible, the judiciary is responsible, parts of media are also responsible, which have aired irresponsibly certain, video of this young man. And unfortunately, my own profession is also equally responsible. So we really need all of us to sit together to introspect. I really wish the police had acted swiftly on the days that it happened. It is shocking that police is not willing to act. It is more shocking that police is, pressing ahead with the charge. I mean, today, the law officers should have got up about the Supreme Court and said, we are not pressing the charge of sedition against this young man. Let him be released straight away. That should have been the magnanimity on the part of the government and its law officers. It's really sad what's happening. And this police commissioner should have been sacked, 3 days ago when he failed to act on it. So I don't know what's happening politically. BJP, I think, should take absolute responsibility to what is happening. If they really want to salvage this situation, and which they must, because the Prime Minister is really wanting to do something, good for the country, but apparently those around him don't want him to do anything good. BJP really must take the responsibility, take the matter in its hands, and really resolve this matter as quickly as possible before it becomes really ugly. I think it's a very serious situation today.
So, Sambit, let me take that from you. You've heard from both Dushyant Dave and Mr. N. Ram today. Mr. N. Ram has said the police must be proceeded against for lying, that lawyers have defied the law, anarchy has set in, says Mr. Dave. Sambit, your response to that, and firstly, your comments on this whole issue of morphed photographs, fake videos. Do you think that those who have shown these videos on television, including some BJP spokespersons, need to apologize for that?
I believe as far as media is concerned, if the media says that we are one of the most important pillars in democracy, naturally we expect responsibility from the media. So if the media is projecting a certain section of a picture or a video as a headline news item, I'm sure the spokesperson of every political party would believe that this is the right video. We are not investigative agencies, we are spokespersons. So naturally, we will pick up believing that these important channels, whatever they have aired, is right. And up till now, till the investigative agencies do not submit a report, I am no one to comment upon the truth or the falsehood of any video or a picture.
And yet there was no hesitation. If that's the case, there was no hesitation in showing the video which had this audio spliced of the inflammatory slogans over Kanhaiya's speech. So there was no problem in saying for days that this is what Kanhaiya said. That time, that's the truth. But now, one should not comment on what is true and what is not.
Just a second.
I mean, as a ruling party, Sambit, do you not have a responsibility to make sure what you're also, I'm saying the media is at fault that has done this, but shouldn't you also check before making an allegation, before hounding somebody, and let the law take its course? Why should morphed videos be put on air at all?
Nidhi, supposedly the NDTV shows a headline news item as a video. Should I not believe the NDTV? Should I suspect the NDTV saying that probably NDTV puts up morphed videos? Or should I have faith on NDTV saying that, well, it claims that it is a fourth pillar of democracy, so it might be right?
No, I'm not saying you should believe us at all. You should have your own facts with you. I'm not telling you to believe us at all. You should also cross-check, because this involves the life of a young man, Mr. Patra. This involves the life of a young man, and right now there is actually no evidence. There is no evidence that directly links Kanhaiya Kumar to those slogans, Sambit. It's not a laughing matter. It's a question of his life. He was almost lynched in the court. It is a laughing matter because Nidhi, I can see your emotion, I can see your tempers flying high. But please, I'm not emotional, Mr. Patra. You don't have to be patronizing. I'm asking you a question.
You have asked me a question, you have to allow me time to answer, just as you allowed other participants to answer. Yes. Number one, I said that you should not allow your tempers to fly, or anyone, because we should have faith in the judiciary. Because Kanhaiya was produced in front of a court. He was produced in front of a judge. And I believe, I am no one to question the wisdom of the judge. If the judge sent Kanhaiya for 20 days in Tihar jail, he must be having enough reason to do so. I or you may be debating on issues for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but judge does it only after listening to the voice of his conscience.
But you were happy to pronounce judgment before the judiciary can. And my point is, Mridula Mukherjee, it is
my point. Just a second. Just a second. Nidhi, just a second. Yeah. For 10 long years, you were pronouncing judgment on Narendra Modi, saying that he is Maut ka Saudagar, saying that we
didn't call him Maut ka Saudagar. Sonia Gandhi did. Please correct yourself. Please correct yourself. I think you better get out of the victimhood syndrome, Mr. Patra. You are a government that has been in power for nearly 2 years now.
Who are present
you are not a
victim
right now. Please behave like a responsible government. If you think you can shout me down, to make your point, you're grossly mistaken.
No one to shout you down.
Don't shift the goalpost, Mr. Patra. And don't say that we called Mr. Modi names we didn't.
Just a
so
second.
Please step back and concentrate on the issue at hand. I'm going to Mridula Mukherjee on this issue.
Clean chit.
One second. You're shifting the goalpost, Mr. Patra, because that is the only thing you can do right now. Mridula Mukherjee, the point is, shouldn't both sides be waiting to hear? No, 1 second, Mr. Patra. 1 second, Mr. Patra.
Are the ones who are shifting the goalpost.
No, don't give us judgment on who's national and who's anti-national. I don't want to hear it from you or anybody else. But Mridula Mukherjee, the point is, everybody here needs to take a step back. Why shouldn't all these videos, for instance, go in for a forensic investigation? Let them be investigated before anyone pronounces judgment either way. At the end of the day, I mean, there are passions that are running high on both sides, on every side.
Especially when it is well known that with the given technology, how easy it is to doctor these kind of pictures and videos. You showed a picture that was morphed with a broken India divided into so many different units at the back of Kanhaiya's photograph, and you showed the original photograph. We have been told since last night, I have also myself seen it repeatedly, how this was done. So yes, of course, it should be, and I'll tell you another reason why it should be. I said this on your channel 1 week ago, the day Kanhaiya was arrested, and I'll say it again. We should have minimum knowledge of Indian politics, and we should have some logic and rationality. Then we would have known that this video was doctored. It is a fact that Kanhaiya Kumar represents the All India Students Federation, which is the student wing of the Communist Party of India, which is a legal party, which has been in governments, which has fought elections, and it is, as I said last time also, it's the mildest communist party. It abandoned, even in theory, violent revolution long ago. Please let me finish. It's very necessary that these misconceptions that people have are cleared, because you use the word communist and then you want to brand everybody with it. You use the word separatist and you want to brand everybody. You say anti-national. It's very important. Anybody with minimum sense should have said, let's get that video examined. So obviously those who repeated it do not know even the minimum ABC of the Indian political scene.
But my point is, Saket, and you're a student yourself.
Kanhaiya could not have uttered those slogans.
I don't know whether
because
Kanhaiya
they are
did
not
or
his politics.
To be honest, I don't know whether Kanhaiya said it or not. I'm only going by what was visually presented as evidence.
Does it make any sense?
No, whether it makes sense or not, ma'am, is not the point. The point is, I don't know whether Kanhaiya said something or not. That is a matter of probe and investigation and for the court to see. But Saket, the point here is that this was the evidence that was being tom-tommed across TV channels, some of them across social media, as proof, as clinching proof that Kanhaiya said Azadi. So do you think, when you look back on it today, that there should have been a little more restraint while making these accusations, and that, basically the law should be allowed to take its own course without this kind of finger pointing? Saket.
See, exactly, this is true, the law should take its own course. But we should also be surprised at the fact that the 10 people who had organized this event on 9th of February are absconding. They are nowhere to be seen, and the police has also not arrested them. We should also be surprised that the police has taken no action on the events of the 9th of February, and even the JNU, different organizations of JNU campus, especially the AISF, the ISA, the SFI, and even the JNU TA, the JNU Teachers Association, did not condemn this act till 12th of February. So the day it happened, everyone knows on campus that this event happened. And everyone knows that Azadi slogans were shouted, and Azadi slogans calling for Bharat ki barbadi were raised at this event. So somebody did it, right? And even if this was not done by JNU students, or if it was done by students who were invited by other JNU students, somebody should be held responsible for this act.
But not falsely, right?
Because
Saket, even you would admit,
we never said that Kanhaiya did this or somebody else did this. We said it is for the police to decide who did this. When we complained to the police, we also said we never charged anyone with sedition. We said we have been victims of violence in this event. Somebody branded a gun at the event, and people organized this event even after no permission from the administration. But unfortunately, no teacher came out during that entire 3 days.
I'll let Vidya Mukherjee answer that before I come back to Dushyant Dave.
Let me just say that I taught at JNU for almost 44 years. I was a student there as well. One thing I can say very proudly, JNU has no culture of violence. Anybody saying guns are brandished in JNU, their politics and their political careers would be finished in 1 second. This, to me, is a little bit of a figment of somebody's imagination. I have not seen it in any report. I have not seen it. There are now, we know that there were plainclothes constables there. How come they haven't put it in their report? Now, you know, after the event, now don't come, let's not put in, you know, red herrings of this kind about guns on JNU campus.
No, there was, this has been reported.
Please tell me another one.
No,
please tell me another one.
Let that be investigated as well. I think
this I can vouch for. There are no guns and there were never been guns on JNU campus.
We have the most with due respect, you should ask the security. It happened inside the campus.
Why
there was a masked man. No, why would you have masked men in a protest rally in a cultural evening?
But that's why there were not.
Yes, there was a man who branded a gun.
Maybe it happened. We don't
Why
know.
to catch hold of him?
No,
none of us were there. None of us were there. We don't know. That needs to be a matter of investigation.
Unfortunately, the police did not take any action. The administration did not take any action, and this is precisely the reason why such events have started happening in JNU.
The same police
some action
which
would have been taken by the administration some years back, especially last year and especially in 2009 when 74 Jawans were killed in an ambush by the Naxalites, and the administration did not take any action.
At least be true to your salt. At least be true to your salt.